Okay, we're good to go.
Okay.
So this is the Parcel Tax Review Panel meeting, May 10th, 2021. And we've got our review panel members, Councillor Hawking, Councillor Kale, and Councillor Morse here to do the review of the role. We have the CFO, Raj Hare, and the CAO, Liam Edwards. I'll call the meeting to order. It's 9:12 a.m. Can I have someone nominate chair, please?
I will nominate, I will nominate Michael Kale, Councillor Kale.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Michael, will you please take the meeting over?
Yes, indeed. Okay. Then this is the, with chair, this is the Parcel Tax Review Panel meeting, Monday, May the 10th at 9:13. And we'll start by the approval of the agenda. And can I just ask, please, in terms of introduction of late items, Steph, what late items do we have?
No late items.
No late items. Then without late items, can I ask, please, for approval of the agenda?
So moved.
I will second it.
Can I ask one question with respect to late items? We would introduce a list of possible inclusions, not as a late item, but as a under the complaint section.
I think that's a logical place to put it in. All, let's do that. And so with that agreement, can I ask, please, for approval of the agenda?
Yeah.
Okay, the agenda is so approved. Let us begin then, please. I'm going to ask Raj Hare for the staff report.
Thank you, Councillor Kale. So I'll give you a brief overview of the staff report that was presented to council at the April 26th council meeting. The municipality borrowed funds for the benefit of the Cove Bay local area service to fund the construction of the water treatment plant. Funds were borrowed from the MFA and internally from the Land Opportunity Fund. The staff report attached to the agenda and reviewed with council on at the April 26th meeting provided details with respect to the amounts borrowed and the terms over which each loan is to be repaid. The staff report requested first 3 readings of the parcel tax bylaws to impose a parcel tax to collect funding for the debt servicing costs for each debt issue. The parcel tax is based on a formula that will impose a parcel tax based on the number of units. All residential properties with less than 4 units on them will be assumed to be 1 unit. Properties with more than 4 units are identified on Schedule A of each of the bylaws and on the parcel tax roll. For residential properties, the parcel taxes are $129.59 and $142.33 per unit, respectively, for the MFA and the Land Opportunity Fund debt servicing costs. For non-residential properties, the parcel tax will be about $428.39 and $470.50 respectively for the MFA and Land Opportunity Fund debt servicing costs. That's an overview of the report to council and a description of the parcel tax bylaw proposed.
Thank you, Raj. Can I just ask, are there any questions on the report as stated by Raj? Okay, hearing none, can I move to 2.1b, the parcel tax roll?
Okay, I can do a quick screen share of that. Can you see it?
Well, while you're doing this, while you're getting the screen share, maybe I'll start talking. Staff.
Please.
So
Sure.
a parcel tax roll was prepared and has been available for inspection at Municipal Hall since April 26th. The tax roll includes all properties in the local area service except those that receive a permissive tax exemption. There are 10 properties that are in the local area service that have been excluded from the parcel tax roll. These properties receive a permissive tax exemption or are statutorily exempt. So the exemption was extended for purposes of the parcel tax roll. I can actually bring up a list of those properties by sharing my screen if you guys are interested in seeing that. I will.
Can we do
Probably-
that at 3.1?
Would you like to do that? Alder?
We
Okay.
can, Raj, if you like, move that to 3.1, just so we
Okay.
can get on to point 3 of the
Yeah.
agenda.
Okay, no, I'm happy to do that. I'll defer to sharing my screen.
Okay,
Continuing on, then a notice of the parcel tax assessment was mailed to all property owners on April 23rd, 2020. The notice described the service the parcel tax is being imposed for, described the basis on which the parcel tax is being applied, provided the location at which the parcel tax roll can be inspected, and information on the opportunity to request a correction to the roll and the date of the sitting of the parcel tax review panel.
okay.
That's everything I have for 2.1B.
Okay, in view of the fact that we are moving any sort of comments to 3.1, can I ask, is there any questions on the report that Raj has just made? Good, hearing none, let's move to point 3. 3.1, the complaints received by property owners impacted by the parcel tax. And this is, of course, as of Friday, because we won't have anything this morning. So could we please have an opportunity to review those, Raj?
Thank you. No complaints or requests for correction of the roll were received so far. The deadline to receive complaints is 12 p.m. this afternoon. So as such, after the review panel discussion, we'll request a recess and request that the parcel review panel reconvene at 12:30 to review any complaints or requests for correction that were received over the weekend and today. There was just for the information of the panel, there was an email that came in on Saturday. It was addressed to mayor and council, and it could be interpreted as a complaint about the roll. So we can consider that this afternoon. I'll have a little bit more of a chance to review that before the 12:30 meeting. And in terms of potential corrections not requested by the public, but for consideration by the parcel tax review panel, I will bring up the 10 properties that were not included on the roll. And I will share my screen here. These are properties that receive a permissive tax exemption or are statutorily exempt.
From regular property taxes.
From regular property taxes, that's correct. So there is 10 properties. There's the Cates Hill Chapel, WCD Developments, which is known as Tiranog, the Bowen Island Museum and Archives, the Roman Catholic Church. There is a federal property, that's the RCMP property on Miller Road. Then there is the
Sewer treatment plant.
a property on Dorman Road for Bowen Island registered Bowen Island Municipality.
This, yeah.
Metro Vancouver property on Trunk Road, and then there's a United Church Road, and 430 Bowen Island Trunk Road is the library, and Mount Gardner is a works yard on Mount Gardner would be the Bowen Island Municipality Works Yard. You don't see the municipality here because the municipality is on a mixed assessment of residential and commercial, and the residential units will be taxed, will attract a parcel tax and are listed on the parcel tax roll.
You're referring to Municipal Hall.
Municipal Hall and the residential parcels below are on one.
Yeah.
Parcel.
Okay.
And so the residential component is included on the roll.
Okay.
There is one property that is, and I should mention that. So we constructed the roll in two ways. We started off by using the water utility billing information for Cove A. And then I received a list of vacant parcels from the planning department and added that to the roll because those were properties that didn't have a billing number. And we did reconcile the roll. However, in receiving the vacant parcel list, the lot that the apartment building is being built on, I believe, is it parcel 1 of lot 2?
Area 1 of lot 2.
Sorry, area 1 of lot 2 was missed. So we will need to add that to the roll. And it will be added as 1 unit for 2021 because the because it is under construction is a rationale for that.
Okay.
And then for 2022, we'll revise the roll schedule. We'll revise the roll to reflect the number of units in the building, and Schedule A to the parcel tax bylaw will also be revised.
Okay. So
Want to stop
therefore,
sharing
is
screen?
it a simple matter, Liam, that this exempt is simply entered in the records for this conversation?
We'll discuss them separately later.
Why, if they're exempt, if this is the list of exempt, why do we not agree this is the list of exempt and have done with it?
Because one of my questions is, are they paying parcel tax for the parks? Parcel tax? All these properties?
For what, sorry?
The parks parcel tax, the one we already levy, are all these properties on that list? And if you read the very first section of the parcel tax section of the community charter, a council may by bylaw impose a parcel tax to provide all or part of the funding for a service. This is funding a service. All these places use water. And
Yes.
why should they not pay their proportionate share?
It's the same reason why you might exempt any other property from property tax.
Well, my argument would be because specifically the community charter section on property tax exemptions specifically says it only applies for 197(1)(a), which is the general property tax parcel, the general ad valorem property tax. It does not, and it's got a list of about, I think it goes from A to Q or R or something. And it very specifically picks out about half of those and says these exemptions do not apply only apply for 197(1)(a), which is the general property tax. So my argument on that basis is they were intended to enable those people to pay for their share of a service, because that's what parcel taxes fund, is services. So I don't think any of those should be left out.
Okay.
They should all
And that's
be
what I
on.
was saying earlier is for discussion for the panel, because what I believe is one of the 4 conditions one of the 4 reasons for reviewing the roll stipulates an exemption from the roll, that the review panel is looking at whether an exemption from the roll has been improperly allowed or disallowed.
Right.
So me to believe that there's some discretion on the part of the review panel in exempting parcels from being applicable, from having the parcel tax roll apply to them.
But my argument is that the exemption,
Yeah.
we can exempt them because they're never going to use the service, or they're not using the service. And that would be the only basis on which you could fairly issue an exemption.
Okay, in a minute, what I'm going to ask is if people want to interrupt, would they kindly raise their hands in one way or another? Because I can.
Raj, do you want to undo the screen share? So
Actually,
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Can you send us that list, please, Raj?
Yeah. So
Yes.
Raj, please, one conversation. Raj, if we have this list, they are exempt, as I understand it, from property taxes, correct?
They are exempt from property taxes. Yeah.
Now, if we have a property, and it's not a big list, if we have a property which is exempt from property taxes, and yet for some reason we decide whether it's a park tax or something else, so we've now got this list, which some of this and some of that, would it not be administratively more straightforward to say, look, if this list of properties are exempt from property taxes, then they are also exempt from the other charges, would that be more administratively straightforward, or are we going to have to pick our way through this and decide who pays what? So what is as far as you are concerned, what is the issue as someone who has to actually make this work?
From the perspective of administration, it would be a simple exercise to exempt those properties from the parcel tax that are exempt from paying municipal property taxes.
Okay, I don't know, David, I haven't heard from you or Liam on this, but I frankly lean to the fact on this short list, rather than slice and dice it, to say, if it is exempt from property taxes, for the sake of straightforwardness, they're also exempt from these other small charges. And Liam, David, I'd like to hear what your thoughts.
First of all, I'd like, from a material perspective, what are we talking about? How much money does this involve for these properties, and how much would it change the parcel tax for everybody else? I assume it would change the parcel tax for everybody else only negligibly.
You are correct. It would change the parcel tax for the other properties negligibly. And for these properties here, we've got 9 properties which are in the non-residential class. So we are talking about 9 times 800, roughly 9 times. I can quickly do the calculation right now.
Or you don't need to. It's 9 times 800. So yeah,
898 times $9,000 that is being borne by the other properties.
right. And for each of those properties, it's $1,000 roughly.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Liam?
I just wanted to, the legislation can be interpreted in different ways, but section 201, properties subject to parcel tax under the community charter, 201 section 1 says, unless otherwise permitted under this or another act, a parcel tax under this division must be imposed on all parcels within the municipality other than those that are exempt from the tax. And so and then as Raj pointed out, the parcel tax review panel must review complaints of properties that have been exempt. And so there is clear provisions under the charter to allow for exemptions of parcel tax.
Right.
That's my interpretation. And so I know, Allison, you read it differently, and that's fine. But my interpretation is that there is an exemption provision.
So at this meeting, we should take a decision as to this list, whether or not they are exempt on the same basis that they're exempt from property taxes. Am I correct? Whether they either are or they are not, and we can make that decision. Raj?
Decision is part of the second meeting, which is part of the overall approval and authentication of the role.
Okay, do you want to move that then to the second part of the meeting? I don't want to drag out, we have 30 minutes for the second part of the meeting. So if something is resolvable now, I'd rather hit it on the head and get it done.
Yeah, I agree with Michael. I don't think we'll receive any new information on this, by our at the time of our later meeting. So we might as well do it now.
Okay. Could we therefore have some form? I think we need a motion to clarify this, do we not, Liam, Raj?
So you want to say that the parcel tax review panel agree, just not sure what the verb is here, authenticate the exemption list as provided at the May 10 parcel tax review panel meeting?
Almost that.
I will, if David will propose it, I will second that. I think for the sake of what we're trying to talk about, that provides sufficient clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the consumption list as provided. I'm going to need that list, Raj, please.
Yeah, I will send that to everybody right away.
So
Okay. Yes, Alison.
So subsection 2 of section 201 says, in the case of a service that is provided to land or improvements, a parcel tax may only be imposed on parcels that have the opportunity to be provided with the service, whether or not, in fact, they are being provided with the service. So to me, that is what the exemption applies to. Because we're deciding that those ones are exempt.
Yes, yes.
And so I'm not in support of your motion.
Okay,
I fully believe that anybody that's getting the service should be paying for it.
okay. Now, how do we do this? What are the rules, please, in terms of we're a small group of 3 councillors? Do we have to take a vote on this and therefore the majority decide? And does the fact that there's only 3 of us, and if it's 2 and 1 or whatever, well, I suppose it's the only way, that then constitute the decision taken? Am I, Liam, am I correct there? This is valid. Okay.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Therefore, on the motion, if you just read it out again, Steph, please.
That the parcel tax review panel authenticate the exemption list as provided at the May 10, 2021 parcel tax review panel meeting.
Thank you. Can I ask for the show of support for those who support that motion?
In favor.
In favor. And could you please show for those who oppose the motion? 1 opposed. Okay, I get that. Therefore, as far as the tax review concerned, that carries, and we can move on to the next point. Do we have? I have complaints received. We know we have that email. The word complaint is rather definite.
It's in the legislation. Raj and I already been, there's a lot of really difficult words to,
Yeah.
with our new.
I would ask,
what is it? Not implement, but impose.
yes.
Use.
We have had a sort of very sincere email sent to us. And whilst it may not sound like a complaint, it is certainly one we should review. And what I ask is, would that be one that we review with any others received at 12:30? I would not like to see, because it may not be technically a complaint. I would like to see it subject to review as though it was a complaint. And if everyone is happy with that, we'll move that to 12:30.
Yes, I'm happy with that.
I think it was a complaint.
I think so, Alison. I
And
agree.
the way it's worded, they want a different formula.
Yes.
Excellent.
And Raj, you'll do an analysis of what that means. Is that and your position on that? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll review that between now and before the 12:30 meeting.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excellent. Therefore, is there anything else we need to review at this stage before we reconvene at 12:30? Let me just go around. David, is there anything else you would like to add before we recess and meet again at 12:30?
No, I'm looking through the agenda and that seems like we've covered everything. Thank you very much.
Alison, is there anything else you'd like to add before we recess?
Do we need a motion to add the area 1 of lot 2 to the roll?
If we do, and it may be a good piece of completeness, Raj, would that assist you by having a motion to add area 1 to the roll? Would that be beneficial for you administratively?
I think it's the only way to get it on at this point.
If that's
Okay.
the only, yeah, I'm not sure about the legality of how to get it on. I mean, I will have it on for the 12:30 meeting.
Okay, Steph, can we just put that as a motion? Why don't we put that forward as a motion? Because we're going to put it on anyway.
I move that area 1 of lot 2 be added to the roll.
I'll second that.
Okay, any further comments? Can I ask for a vote of support of Alison's motion, please? Thank
Oh,
you.
I forgot to rename myself.
It's all right. There is no mistaking you, Alison.
So I have one more question on the roll. There are several names on the roll that have 2 PIDs beside them.
What is a PID?
That's property identification number.
Okay.
And there's I don't know, at least half a dozen or more where there's 2 PIDs listed beside one name. And I can understand that would have been done for generating a mailing list, but each of those properties is going to be charged a parcel tax, correct?
My understanding is there is essentially all of the roles that are here are based on a unique parcel, and the multiple PIDs that have appeared here have actually, that may be that the PID, which is a parcel identification number, had changed and we're tracking the old and new number. I'm going to have to confirm that with Aoife. She was unavailable this morning. However,
I was looking at,
they are not multiple parcels. And as such, I'm not sure why we've got a second PID number here. I'm going to have to confirm that.
I'm guessing, looking, because I know a couple of the parcels personally, and there's 2 lots owned by one person, and they're adjacent lots. And they show up as separate lots on BOMAP.
Okay, I'll have to have a look, because I looked at several of them and they looked like they were just single
Can we
Alison,
then
based on the assessment. Oh, sorry.
we refer that till 12:30, Raj, when you've had a
Yeah,
chance?
I can have an answer for the 12:30 meeting on that.
Okay. Let's
Liam had a
review.
question.
Oh, I was just going to ask for clarification of your question, Allison, because I was
Well,
just
if you look at
looking at the role.
If you look at the roll, let's see if I marked them. Let me find it here. If you roll down, that's for example.
Want me to share the roll again?
The 3rd page,
Okay.
number 2, roll number 26320.
320.
Very
26320.
bottom of the page.
Page 3.
Page 3 of the roll.
How far down, Allison?
Very
Not
bottom.
very far down.
Very
There's
bottom
a
entry.
space in the right up above it.
Okay, that's on page 2 of my PDF.
Oh, okay. Well, in my printed
Okay.
copy, which I photocopied from what was in the council chambers or in the counter, it's the 3rd page. So it's roll number 26320.
Correct.
So if I can just, can I just explain what that is? So it comes in from BC assessment. 26320 is the roll number that it
Yeah.
comes there. And then within the folio, it had 2 PID numbers, but it looked like one property when I looked at it in the tax assessment or in our property tax database. So I'll need to confirm why there are 2 PID. So PID stands for parcel identification.
Okay, so.
Right. Okay.
I'll
I
have
see. I
to-
see. I
Yeah.
see the question. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to confirm why there's 2 PID numbers
Yeah.
listed there, because I looked at a
Right.
few of them and it did not look like they were separate.
Okay, but I couldn't, is this an Excel spreadsheet formula, this tax roll?
It is being brought, the tax roll number or the PID number or the parcel tax?
No, is the document an Excel spreadsheet?
It is an Excel spreadsheet, Allison.
It's
a
easy
working
to search
document.
that name to see if it appears a second time, because there are
Okay.
2 lots.
If I may, we are due to reconvene at 12:30.
Yeah,
There are a couple of issues which are technical issues that we can review, which I'm not sure need the public attention.
Right.
And I'm wondering if maybe we could meet at maybe about 12:20, giving us 10 minutes to deal with these small administrative points before we go live. I don't think we are being in any way disingenuous. We're just sorting out some technical issues to make sure that everybody is comfortable with the answers. So Steph, and with everyone's agreement, could we perhaps, instead of meeting at 12:30, meet at 12:20, giving us 10 minutes before we go live to answer the questions which have quite properly been raised by Alison, and let's get that sorted, and then we can move on without moving us into the next century, and we can.
Thanks, Michael. Good idea.
Okay. Is there anything further to discuss before we recess? Then can I, in that case, ask for a motion to recess, and we will meet again at 12:20.
Moved.
Moved.
I don't vote, but.
Thank-